Hi guys, I'm sorry I haven't made videos for the past week. I've been down. I had a family reunion last weekend, and a stack of tables had fallen onto my legs, and I broke my big toe and split it open and got 8 stitches in onto my right leg. I broke my ankle, so I'm down for a bit, and I'm on bed rest, and that's quite challenging for me because nothing slows me down, not even cancer. And being on bed rest is like a life sentence to me. It's like being in jail in my room. But anyway, tonight's topic, I would like to talk about the things that people say to you while you're fighting cancer. And the hardest challenge that I had is people will always tell me that I didn't look like I had cancer. I didn't know you had to look a certain way to let people know that you were fighting cancer. I didn't know cancer had a look. I didn't know I had to be frail and crippled and leaning over and doubled in pain all the time to let your society know that I had cancer. I didn't know that my lips had to be chapped and my skin had to be sunken in, and to let you know that I was fighting a terrible disease. Like, you don't know underneath of this smile and pain and this face that to get out here to face you, I had to take many pills to alleviate the pain, and I had to have many talks with myself to encourage myself to come out and face you today. And the first thing you say to me is, you don't look like you have cancer. And I remember I was out at one of my kids' football games, and his aunt sat down next to me, and she says to me, my hair, during this course of 6 years, my hair has been through all kind of roller coasters. It has come out a total 3 times. I'm regrowing it now. I suffer with a lot of hair loss. It used to be like down to here. More recently it was like here, but I always had bald spots in different places, and I was able to cover it. But she said to me, she said, how were you on chemo when you had hair? And I said, how do you have hair? And that's one of the hardest things as women, especially we deal with, is hair loss. I mean, when you first get the diagnosis and you're told you have to go on chemo, you're devastated that you're going to lose your hair, because people are often able to define that you have cancer because of your hair loss. And I was so upset because that was the first thing she said to me. It's like you're doubting that I have cancer because I still have my hair. Like, more than 70% of chemo treatments, you don't lose your hair. And I remember just more recently, I think it was last year, I was going into the shot, right? And I got out and I was on my cell phone, and it was a older lady, and I think she was with her daughter. And I was pushing the cart, and she tapped me on my shoulder. She was like, "Excuse me," and I'm like, "Yes." And she's like, "Why are you parked in handicap?" And I was like, "What?" And she says it again, and I said, "Because I have a sticker." And she said, "Well, why do you have a sticker?" I said, "Because I have a disability." And then she proceeds to follow me around the store, wanting to know what my disability is. Like, your disability does not have to be shown. Like, people suffer with all types of disabilities in different forms. Just because my disability is not shown doesn't mean that I don't have a disability, and I don't have to explain anything to you. So I allow her to rant and rave for a few minutes until I finally said I have stage 4 brain cancer. And then she says, "Oh, do you need any help? Can I help you with your stuff?" And I said, "No, I'm fine. I said, you have a blessed day. So after I tell her my disability, now she wants to offer me help because at this point she feels ashamed. But it shouldn't take that much. I mean, I get ridiculed all the time about me parking a handicap because my disability is not one that you can see by my appearance, because the outer me displays that I'm fine, but the inner me is sick. So people ridicule me for parking in handicap because they can't see. And society is so messed up because we're taught that people should look a certain way because they're handicapped, but that isn't true. And if I'm not feeling well, I try to just walk closer and I use up handicap spikes, but most of the time, like, they give everybody a handicap sticker, so they're not even available to me. And the days that I can barely make it to a motorized wheelchair, I can't even find a handicap spot. So it's just terrible. Like, you're treated so differently. It doesn't make any sense. I try to raise my kids, like, to not be that way. My kids had to grow up at a very early age because I was diagnosed with my daughter, who's the youngest of the bunch, when she was just going into, she was leaving 4th grade, going into the 5th grade. My son was starting his 9th year of high school, and my middle son was getting ready to start 8th grade. So they had to grow up because, I mean, I couldn't take care of them the way I wanted to. I tried the best, but they were more so taking care of me. But I thank God that I had prepared them in my earlier years for days like this. Like, they were mature, like they knew how to get up to a sound of alarm without my assistance. They knew how to get their school clothes ready. You know, they knew how to, if something happened, prepare them dinner. Like, they weren't dependent upon me. Like, I see kids today that are like 15 and 16 and can't even make a piece of toast, or like, they're so dependent on their parents. It's ridiculous. I also want to touch on another subject, adjusting to your new situation. When you find out you have cancer, besides your emotions, your daily routines may change. Your schedule's going to change. You're going to now focus on treatment. Like, you want to know how to get rid of this awful disease. Like, that's your main focus. Let's get rid of it. I have cancer. I want to get rid of it. You may need someone to drive you to doctor's appointments, drive you to treatment. Like, it's going to take a whirlwind course on your body. You're going to need someone to run errands, cook for you. Like, alleviate a lot of your daily tasks. Like, I know we're all dependent. You don't like people to do things for you. I'm the same way. But believe me, just alleviate as many tasks as you can. Let people do things for you. When someone has cancer, everyone is affected. Like, it takes a toll on everyone. Your spouse, your children, your friends, your family. Everyone is affected. It's just not a me thing. It's an everyone thing. And everybody has to play a role. Everybody has to get responsibilities. And we have to alleviate the stress of the person that's fighting the cancer. A child may have to do more chores. A spouse may have to help around the house. As I said before, my kids had to grow up fast. They had to, take on more chores. They had to do more. Everybody had to pitch in. I mean, the people that you start with may not be who you end with, and that's perfectly fine, because your main focus is you. You don't have time to worry about nobody else. And money is going to be a big factor in your cancer fight. Cancer can reduce the amount of money your family has to spend or save. If you're not able to work, someone in your family will have to endure the cost. You and your family should learn about your health insurance and find out what will be covered and what you need to pay for. Living arrangements is very important. You need to find a safe, comfortable living space at this time. Sometimes you may need to change where you live or whom you live with. You may need to move in with someone else to get the care you need. You may need to travel far from home for treatment. This can be stressful because you may feel that you're losing your independence. It's just for a little bit of time, but it'll get better. And stress. This is a very stressful time. And everybody around you is going to be stressed because they want you all better. So we want to keep the stress off of you as much as possible. So coping with stress. Stress is linked to tumor growth, so we don't want you stressed at all. We know that high stress cancer patients tend to have a harder time in treatment and recovery. Be gentle with yourself and give yourself time whenever possible to focus on things that distract you from your cancer and on things that slow down the thoughts racing through your mind. Here are some tips for reducing that stress. Avoid scheduling conflicts. Be aware of your limits. Ask for help. It's not a bad thing to ask for help. Ask for help. I'm here if you need me. I can delegate really well. I will find you some help. Break down tasks into smaller steps. Concentrate your efforts on things you can control. Get help with financial problems. There are a lot of resources out here. I know of a lot of resources. I can point you in the right direction. Don't stress about it. Stress management strategies are a good help. Exercise regularly. I know it's complicated to exercise like you used to maybe at this time, especially when you start chemo. But there's some exercises you can do sitting in a chair. They have chair yoga. You can do exercises in the bed. Just keep your body moving. Spend time outside. Schedule social activities. Get plenty of rest. Join a support group. We have Zoom meetings every Sunday. Schedule daily relaxing time. Do things you enjoy. Writing a journal. And learn a new hobby. We make sure you have some relaxation techniques. Relax or deep breathing. Mental, imaginary, or visualization. Progressive muscle relaxation. Meditation. Biofeedback, and yoga. I hope these tips were very helpful for you guys. I'll be back on with some more tips and some more chats. And until next time, be blessed, stay safe, and don't stress. I love you all.